Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our chapter number 5, States of Matter. In this chapter, we know that many types of matters are there: solid, liquid, gaseous, and plasma state. But we are going to discuss about intermolecular forces. Now, first of all, what is intermolecular forces? Attraction force which occurring in between two molecules or atom is known as intermolecular forces. The attraction forms between two molecules. This type of interaction is very weak, in some cases very strong also. This intermolecular forces was introduced by Dutch scientist van der Waals. This van der Waals attraction force is very weak in intermolecular forces section. This van der Waals attraction force contains three types of different attractions. First attraction is known as dispersion forces or London forces. So we are going to discuss about dispersion forces first. This dispersion force or London force is introduced by Fritz London scientist. This dispersion force is occurring in between two types of neutral atom. These are the two hydrogen atoms. Simply we call it as A and atom B. These both atoms are symmetrically charged because in center there is a positive charge in both A and B, and negative charge is symmetrically distributed over the molecule. So when this type of symmetrical molecules interact with each other, so in molecularity this atom A will undergo spontaneous dipole moment. Spontaneous dipole moment means this charge, positive and negative charge, will divided into partially positive and partially negative charge. This attraction is a temporary attraction in dipole forces. This atom A now distribute its charge in this manner. All positive charge density which is on left hand side and all negative charge density which is already on right hand side. So this temporary or spontaneous dipole moment in atom will induce in atom B. Atom B will undergo same shape or same dipolic look. Atom B, the positive tendency on left hand side and negative tendency on right hand side. So what we can say, the negative charge of atom A and positive charge of atom B, this force is known as dispersion force or London force. Negative charge of atom A and positive charge of atom B, this temporary attraction which is formed in between these two interacting molecules, atom A and atom B, is known as dispersion forces. We can also draw this type of structure in another way. Negative charge on left hand side and positive charge on right hand side. So the atom B will also induce this type of dipole. So we can call it as the positive charge of atom A and negative charge of atom B will interact with each other, and those attraction forces are known as dispersion force. These dispersion force are very weak in nature. Now we are going to discuss about our second force, that is dipole force. See, in our first case, attraction between symmetrical molecule or neutral atom A and B, this type of force is already seen in the dipole moment atom like HCl, HF, HI. These interaction forces are very strong because in this dipole forces, the attraction between partially positive charge and partially negative charge, this dipole interaction is stronger than van der Waals force like London force, but less stable than ionic attraction. Why this is the weak in comparison with ionic attraction? In ionic attraction, molecules are divided into completely positive and completely negative ion. In this case, we are going to take example of HCl molecule. In this HCl molecule, already there is a permanent dipole moment. This is a partially negative charge and this is partially positive charge. This positive indicates hydrogen and this negative indicates chlorine. Why there is a partially negative charge? Because the atomic number of chlorine is higher than the hydrogen, and this chlorine attracts the electron of hydrogen atom towards chlorine. So the attraction forces are in the direction of chlorine. So we can say that dipole moment is already generated in HCl molecule. Again, the second molecule of HCl is over here, plus and minus dipolic charge. This is again partially positive and partially negative charge. This is our hydrogen and this is our chlorine. Again the dipole moment is on chlorine side. So now when these HCl molecules are interact with each other, or we can say they come together for attraction, at that time the partially negative charge of chlorine is directly interact with partially positive charge of hydrogen. So at that time partially negative and partially positively charged attraction force will generate over here, and this force is known as dipole interaction or dipole forces. This type of forces are stronger than van der Waals forces and weaker than ionic forces. Okay. Now our third category, induced dipole forces. Our next topic is hydrogen force. This hydrogen force is attract more electronegative particles or more electronegative atoms like fluorine, nitrogen, oxygen, iodine. Here there are some examples: hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen iodide and ammonia. How this hydrogen force will work? The energy of hydrogen bond is varies between 10 to 100 kilojoule per mole. So this is a very strong attraction force in comparison with van der Waals attraction or van der Waals intermolecular forces. And this hydrogen bond can be denoted by this type of broken dotted line. Here I am going to show the hydrogen bond in ammonia molecule. H bond in ammonia molecule. See, this nitrogen has an extra electronic lone pair. These three hydrogens are attached with nitrogen molecule. So these hydrogen again attract another ammonia molecule. So another ammonia molecule will join in this type of manner. Again there is another hydrogen bond will form, then again nitrogen with 3 hydrogen. There are 3 hydrogens will form 9 hydrogen bonds, then again form 27 hydrogen bonds. So this type of hydrogen bond will occur in all these molecule. Another example is hydrogen fluoride, dotted hydrogen fluoride. Hydrogen fluoride has also extra electronic lone pair. So hydrogen fluoride forms this type of hydrogen bonding. So these hydrogen forces are very strong in nature. We know that when two cubes of ice are attached with each other and after some time both the ice cubes are joined with each other very strongly, this is the result of high bond of H bond. Now our new topic is intermolecular forces versus thermal energy. We already discussed about intermolecular forces. What are the role of attraction force? The intermolecular forces attract both the particles and joint with each other, but the role of thermal energy is directly opposite to the intermolecular forces. This thermal energy means when we are increasing the temperature, those temperatures are breaking the bonds of two molecules and they becomes apart from each other. So these both are opposite in nature. When we are increasing the temperature, the intermolecular forces will decrease, but the thermal energy will increase. See, there is a solid, then liquid and gas. When solid molecules are heated at some temperature, means we increase the thermal energy. If we increase the temperature, they will easily convert their solid state into liquid state. When again the temperature will increase, liquid form is converted into gaseous form. But in a reverse direction, gas to liquid and liquid to solid means if we are going to increase the intermolecular forces, here I am going to increase IF. Increase the intermolecular forces means these gaseous particles are attract with each other and the space between these molecules will reduce and they convert into liquefied state. And again I increase the intermolecular forces, liquid will converted into solid. So this temperature means thermal energy and IF means intermolecular forces, both are in opposite direction. Now in these intermolecular forces, we see various types of forces like van der Waals force, dispersion force, London force, dipole-dipole interaction and dipole-induced force. And in thermal energy, now we are going to discuss in a gaseous state. Gaseous molecules are already very apart from each other, and when we increase the energy in a formation of temperature, those molecules will again far from each other. In solid molecules, all molecules or atoms are bonded to each other or very near to each other. But when we increase the temperature, the distance between these two atoms will increase in form of highest thermal energy. Okay, so this is the comparison of intermolecular forces and thermal energy. Now our next topic is gaseous law of Boyle's. Boyle stated that at constant temperature, the pressure of a fixed amount of gas is varied inversely with volume. So pressure is inversely proportional with volume. So our step is P varies as 1 by V, inversely proportional. If we want to remove this proportionality symbol, so P is equal to K1 into 1 by V. This K1 is known as proportionality constant. So we can say that this constant step on right hand side and variable steps are on left hand side. So we will get PV is equal to K1. So the right hand side of equal is constant and left hand side of equal to is variable. So our final mathematical step for this Boyle's law is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. We can say that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, or in other way, P1 upon P2 is equal to V2 upon V1. So P1 V1 into P2 V2. These two are the mathematical or symbolic form of Boyle's law. Now we are going to understand this line by these two graphs. Our first graph indicates that P varies with 1 by V. We know that in this condition temperature 3, temperature 2 and temperature 1. Temperature 3 is higher, temperature 2 is slightly lower and temperature 1 is lowest temperature. At lowest temperature you can see the pressure is lowest. If we increase the temperature, the pressure will increase, and again we increase the temperature, pressure will again increase. When the pressure is lowest, at that time the volume is highest. When you slightly increase the pressure, decreasing the volume. So again these are the lines. See, temperature 1 is lower. When we increase the temperature 2, so the pressure will increase. We increase to temperature 3, again the pressure will increase. At the lowest pressure, the volume is highest. When we increase the temperature, volume becomes lower. So this can prove that P varies inversely with volume. Pressure is inversely proportional with volume. And if we are taking on x-axis 1 by V in place of only V, at that time we can say that pressure is directly proportional to V. At that time, which type of curved graph is we get? Here the white, yellow and pink line. In this case, pink line is for 600 Kelvin temperature, yellow line is for 400 Kelvin temperature and white line for 200 Kelvin temperature. In this case, suppose this is the one point this pressure indication and volume indication. When 200 Kelvin temperature, the pressure is slightly lower side and volume is slightly lower side. When we increase the temperature, now again, suppose this is our point, so our pressure will increase and some extent of volume will also increase. So when we increase the temperature, pressure will increase and volume will decrease. These two graphs are proved the statement of Boyle's law that at constant temperature the pressure of a fixed amount of gas is varies inversely with volume. Okay. After this Boyle's law, we are going to discuss Charles law and Avogadro law, and after that we will discuss the combined gaseous reaction. Okay, thank you.